Welcome to today's webinar. Transparency is the new green. This is the 9th installment in this series, and we're thrilled once again to be here with our partners at the Collaborative for High Performance Schools, and particularly welcoming Lisa, CHPS's new Membership and Communications Director, who you'll hear from shortly, and our special guests from Oregon Door and Semco. This series is all about shining the light on the manufacturers who are investing in product transparency and who have real stories to tell about what they're doing to make their greener and healthier and higher performance products. Sustainable Minds believes that transparency is the new green, meaning there's a new bar that's been set for manufacturers to demonstrate that they actually understand the impacts that their products are making and are actively doing things to improve the performance and the material health of those products, and are creating those disclosures and telling those stories to educate the market and ultimately to help get their products selected and specified. Today, again with us, we've got Gretchen Withers from Oregon Door, Steve Farkas from Semco, and Lisa Donna from CHPS, each of whom you will hear from in that particular order. And I'm Terry Swack, the founder and CEO of Sustainable Minds. A little bit about Sustainable Minds for those of us who've not met us before. We are a cloud software and services company. We've been in the lifecycle assessment and product transparency space since day one, since I founded the company in 2007. And our mission has never changed. Our mission has always been to operationalize environmental performance into mainstream product development and manufacturing for the purpose of driving revenue and growth through greener product innovation. And the reason that it's important to make that statement as part of our mission is, and now I'm using air quotes, it's not about doing the right thing, although the end state is that. The reason to help manufacturers operationalize environmental performance and now material health into product development is that is the only economic path forward that is sustainable and the right thing to do for the planet. So as a company, we've got deep expertise in product transparency, life cycle assessment, material ingredient disclosure. We've got deep expertise in customer experience, information design, and cloud software development. And we are an ISO 14025 program operator. We came to market in 2009. We were the first to introduce an LCA screening software tool for product development teams and manufacturing companies to be able to understand the life cycle impacts of products in early stage concept design so they could try out different strategies, different ideas to make meaningful improvements, make a greener product, and ultimately, when marketing those products, have real stories to tell that correlate those improvement activities to the results in the disclosures to help everybody understand what do those disclosures mean. And that's what you're going to hear about today from our participants. So to wrap on Sustainable Minds, we are the only end-to-end product transparency solution provider in the market today, starting with helping manufacturers design greener products with our original LCA and eco-concept modeling tool. We are a program operator. We do deliver LCA and material evaluation services, and we have this innovative cloud-delivered transparency reporting platform with tools, training, and education, both for manufacturers and for architects, engineers, and contractors. We've got a number of fantastic partners, CHPS being one of them, and that's why we're doing this webinar together. Another that you may have heard of is Avitru, who are the publishers of MasterSpec, the AIA's Master Specification Guide, and ultimately the intent of that partnership is to bring product transparency to the mainstream by getting more visibility for what is product transparency, helping AECs find those products ultimately through master spec, and to help improve the specifications that manufacturers are creating to include that transparency information and the mapping to the green building rating systems that those disclosures help those that specify the products earn. So as I mentioned, manufacturers are challenged today with two key issues. They want to be able to design and make greener products, and they want to be able to market them. And it's the same drivers for both: the cost and competition for natural resources, regulation all around the world, managing supply chain risk, which are external drivers. And the internal drivers are really about how do they build a credibly greener brand, how do they create new innovative products, and ultimately create and drive new revenue from those products and from the new customers that they acquire. All of these drivers are driving both the design challenge and the market challenge. And talking about managing risk and regulation and resources, the green building rating systems are really all about guidelines that help manufacturers do all of those things. Each of them are a little bit different. And since LEED version 4 introduced product transparency as a core tenet of LEED version 4, meaning now it's not enough to report on single attributes per category, but everybody, meaning every manufacturer, needs to use the same technical method to evaluate products in their category for the life cycle environmental impacts. That's what life cycle assessment and type 3 environmental declarations disclose, and material ingredient disclosures. There are a whole list of disclosures that are now and/or rating systems that are accepted by these green building rating systems. And since LEED came out with product transparency, not only have more rating systems also gotten on board, like CHPS, more rating systems have been created. And so what it finally comes down to is that architects, engineers, and contractors want to select products with transparency information, but that's the point. They want to select products with transparency information. They're not just looking for disclosures. And further, disclosures aren't designed to include those stories or explain how the results of the disclosures were achieved. And therefore, it's very difficult to use those disclosures to make those informed and differentiated decisions, which is where we come in, where Sustainable Minds comes in, which is to really tell this story about it's important that product transparency isn't just the production of disclosures, that product transparency is most effective when manufacturers have the opportunity to tell those stories about what they're actually doing to make improvements in their products and to share their own learnings about the process, the product transparency process, what's happening to them as they're going through the process, and how is that affecting the decisions that they make about how they make their products. So the Transparency Catalog is designed to address the challenges that manufacturers are facing to tell those stories and get their products found, and to help architects, engineers, and contractors also easily find those products, but move up the learning curve along with the manufacturers, because a massive amount of education is required today to improve products, make better decisions, and make sure those products are getting into the specification. There are other product platforms that are out there. We are all different. I'll talk about what's different about the transparency catalog. It's very, very focused. It's all the brands across North America who have invested in product transparency, and a number of those are global brands. Today, there's more than 1,000 brands in the catalog. Only their products with transparency information is included. All that education and marketing tools are built in. There's no sponsored content. There's no advertising. There's no login, which means that we're not tracking users as they move through the catalog, which also means we never sell analytics. We believe that data privacy and user privacy is paramount in a business about transparency. Our focus is on brands. That's the way people think about products, particularly in early stage product selection. They have favorite brands, or maybe now we're focused and introducing brands that people may not have heard of yet. And so we want the brands to get that credit. And today you're going to hear from Oregon Door and Semco. You can see recent brands in the catalog. You can easily get to their listing there from the front page. And so to wrap up about the transparency catalog, again, it's designed to deliver tools and knowledge both to manufacturers to accelerate their own knowledge acquisition around transparency, make their sales, their customer-facing people more efficient and effective in being able to talk about their products to their customers, and really help them get a measurable ROI on their transparency investments. And obviously uniquely designed for building professionals to be able to find all those brands and all their products with disclosures in one place in a glance. And you're going to see each of their listings in one quick second. You'll see all the products that they have with transparency information, which disclosures they have, the results, and you can dig in to go to their website to learn more about those products. And ultimately, we've built in capabilities to help you reward them and let them know when you've selected or specified their products, to close that loop, to continue to encourage those manufacturers who are being transparent to continue making those investments. And that is how we'll ultimately create the change that we're all looking for in the marketplace. And with that, I'd like to introduce Gretchen Withers from Oregon Door. Take it away, Gretchen.
Thank you, Terry. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Gretchen Withers, the Sustainability and Compliance Manager, and I am with Oregon Door. Sorry. A little bit about my background. I was a previous team member of Oshkosh Door Company, which is a sister or affiliate company to Oregon Door. We're both are architectural door manufacturers, which means we manufacture doors for schools, hospitals, office buildings, anything commercial and architectural. I had a very extensive background with Oshkosh Door, worked there many, many years, had held various positions in sales, production control, and detailing. When I was in production control, a lot of that position required working knowledge with a lot of technical information and compliance information, working within the organization and outside stakeholders, suppliers, and customers. And I truly believe sustainability is our future and the future of our kids. A little bit about Oregon Door. This is a picture from our, actually from our plant. I think it's really, the location's beautiful. We're really nestled in the, what you want to call the natural resources of the Pacific Northwest. We're 3 hours south of Portland, Oregon. So it's very close off of I-5, which goes straight up and down the Pacific Northwest. We are a part of the Division 8 wood doors. And a little history about our background. It truly has became, our company began with a passion. Up until 1986, we were building hollow core doors, and then as the market need changed, we became an architectural door manufacturer. At that time, we were not owned by the person that owns us now. We are privately held. In 1999, we were sold, and our current owner invested millions of dollars to upgrade our equipment and make us a more competitive architectural door manufacturer, modernized our facility. And basically what we do is every job we have is built to a customer specific job spec, individual needs. They're engineered individually. You can see some of the photos there some things are done by hand, some we've got state-of-the-art technology for some of our machinery. And then at the end of the day, they are delivered right to a specific job site or to our distributors. And we have three basic lines of doors. The first one is our architectural series. And those basically, again, are architectural doors. These would all have a wood veneer face. I'm giving a couple examples here. If you look at the far right corner, that's a architectural door that has plant-on molding. The middle picture is a Dutch door. And then the other ones are just the typical architectural wood doors you would see in offices, schools, etc. Our next line is our Craftsman Series, and that is a different basing. That would be a high pressure laminate, an MDO, which would be a paintable, medium density overlay, would be a paintable surface. And then our third line is our Rugged Series, which is our fiberglass reinforced polymer door. That's for very, very heavy duty applications such as a wastewater treatment plant. The surfaces of those doors really are truly heavy duty. They have to be exposed to being cleaned with water, etc. So they're more of an industrial architectural door. Why did we become a member of CHPS? That's very good. I think it's very passionate answer I would give is that we really, really have a passion for sustainability. We really feel sustainability is our future and our children's future. As a member of CHPS, I think it really gives us a great role in CHPS' mission to foster the K through 12 educational facilities. And it's really important that those environments stay healthy, environmentally friendly, and that we promote this environmental stewardship. And so you can see by our logo is green, but we really are passionate about sustainability. Green is much more than just a color. With all the logos we have up here, these are all our sustainability partners at the moment. And we continue to keep working to be as sustainable as possible. And you can see in late 2015, we did set an audacious goal to become the most environmentally responsible manufacturer of flush wood doors on the planet. Currently, our product transparency, we have 23 EPDs. We chose with EPDs rather than to do one generic for our architectural line, to do them very specifically for each type of door. We felt that would hit the market need much better, and with LEED version 4. We currently have 4 declare labels. We are working on attaining more declare labels. We have Green Guard and Green Guard Gold certifications. And we are in the process right now of developing our HPDs, which is your Health Product Declaration. And we are also in the process of working on our GRI report. All of these are requirements within the LEED version 4. This is kind of a cool story. In probably last November, I received a call from a contractor in the Midwest, in the Chicago area, that was looking for a door manufacturer that was sustainable. Specifically, they were looking for declare labels, FSC, and we're having trouble finding one. We happen to be one of 2 door manufacturers that had declare labels, but our particular declare labels hit the exact specified door they were looking for. And took about 2 months, and from probably November to January, and in January, we finally found out that we were awarded the job. And so now the doors that are going into the University of Chicago, the Keller Center, are actually at the plant being built right now. Some of the learnings and insights that we have found through our transparency or sustainability movement is that transparency these are positive movements, very, very positive movements. These create really a peace of mind for the architect and designer. They can choose products that they can feel comfortable that if manufacturers have fully disclosed their ingredients, whatever it might be, so that they can create buildings that are healthy and sustainable. I have found myself that a lot of the transparency systems really do have a checks and balance system built in, so that whether they're third party certified or whatever, they're easy. There's no cheating. There's a lot of support. They're also not cost prohibitive to be transparent. I think sometimes people may jump into the venturing into some of this and assume that there's a large cost to it. A lot of them are not. They're well worth it. And then the other thing, I've done quite a bit of the transparency programs that we've jumped on. And what I'm finding is that there's a lot of great resources out there. If I get stuck on something, I can call, for instance, Terry mentioned before with Sustainable Minds, there's support there. When I started working with our declare labels and you're kind of lost and you don't always know what all the language means, there was a great support system there. So there's the whole thing with transparency and the support and education out there has been very, very positive. A few things that we've done as a company that I think we can be very, very proud of. We established a company-wide, internally, externally, green team in 2016. So at the plant, they have, I believe it's monthly meetings and go through looking for every opportunity, whether it's recycling, reducing natural resources, whatever it is. The team meets together. It's a cross-functional team and brainstorm about all kinds of ways that they can do to just make improvements. We have partnerships currently with Oregon and Energy Trust, Pacific Blue Sky, Renewable Energy, and the EPA Green Power, which these companies have helped us find ways to reduce our water consumption, electricity, and things like that. The other thing too that's nice is because we've had disclosures, we've been able to assist quite a few of our customers in being able to be awarded products or projects that required sustainable documents, etc., and they have been awarded with these jobs. We continue to make improvements towards our sustainability, and we just recently proudly became a member of CHPS. And as stated before, we will continue internally to work on lean manufacturing incentive, reducing our waste, monitoring any place that we can do any kind of recycling and reduction of our natural resources. What I have found is working with Sustainable Minds, they have been an awesome resource in working with us. And when we finally got our page and in the catalog, to see the power of this tool was mind-blowing. To look at and see our 23 EPDs we had out there and our declare labels, and to use it, and it's user-friendly. We've been able to refer this page to our salespeople, our internal salespeople, and be able to use it as a guide to look and see where you can find whatever's out there as far as what you're looking for as far as transparency. I think it's been a great experience. The AACs can make really well-informed decisions about companies that are willing to disclose their products, makes their job so much more easy and effective, and it really streamlines the process. Some of the trends we've seen Truly, transparency is our future to sustainability. And I think the other thing I have found is that the more you're willing to disclose, it really does level the playing field in many aspects. It's a win-win scenario. It's a win scenario for the manufacturer. It's a win scenario for the end user. It's a win scenario for the architect and designer. As a door manufacturer, as a domestic door manufacturer, we've had some, I think, advantages because in where we're located and even Oshkosh Door, we're very fortunate that very many of our suppliers are domestically located. And so quite a few of the domestic suppliers or raw material suppliers out there also are coming on board with a lot of these transparency things. And as I said earlier, transparency is not cost prohibitive. It's well worth it. It really, it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. And I think the other thing is there's a lot of programs you'll hear about out there, but the continuous education and sustainability and transparency, I think, is really key to keep learning. And there's so much available resources and avenues to just be able to see where and what we can do to keep being more sustainable and transparent. And personally, sometimes these certifications can become a little bit confusing. And what I've been able to find is having those resources like Sustainable Minds, Living Building Challenge. There's places out there that you can ask questions, get your information, sort out some of this, and then you really truly do gain a better understanding of everything. And I guess at the end of the day, I think our common goal is to have safe, healthy, and very sustainability in our future. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Gretchen. I learn something new every time I hear you talk about the company. So beautiful products and great process.
Thank you.
So, let's introduce Steve Farkas from Semco, and let's hear your story, Steve.
Good afternoon or good morning, everybody, wherever you're at. My name is Steve Farkas with Semco. We are a manufacturer of cold form steel framing and metal lath products and accessories. A little bit about me. I'm currently the director of business development for Semco, previously holding positions as corporate marketing manager and product manager. I started out in the industry way back in 1985 as an apprentice carpenter, eventually graduating from Cleveland State University in 1990. Shortly thereafter, I worked for a couple of industry stalwarts such as Dietrich Industries, Calpine, and Unimast over a course of 15, 20 years, and then most recently, and still with, I'm proud to say so, for 18 years with Semco. Also graduated from the University of Redlands with an MBA. And after being in this industry for so many years, the one thing that we have learned, and I have learned especially, is that with the increase of this idea of sustainability and how big it is from a scale and scope standpoint, it is vital for everyone in the construction industry, really, from manufacturers to carpenters all the way up to architects and engineers, to really put a lot of emphasis on choosing products that provide for safe and environmentally responsible living spaces. A little bit about Semco. We are a privately held company owned and operated by the Poliquin family since 1974. We specialize in cold form steel framing products. For anybody that is not familiar with it, they're basically the metal studs and track products, expanded and furred products for the lath products that go on the exteriors of stucco systems and walls, and also all the accessories that go with that. 95% of our products fall within the two divisions, in Division 5 and Division 9. And we're fortunate because steel being the most recycled material in the world, we get to process all of our products from steel. And we do that in one of 4 facilities. Our corporate headquarters are located in City of Industry, which is just east of Los Angeles. We do have our main manufacturing facility in that same city as well. And then we have 3 others strategically located around the U.S. One in Pittsburgh, California, which is outside, or actually between Sacramento and Oakland. Another in Denver, Colorado. And then our final facility in Fort Worth, Texas. In each of these facilities, we use roll formers, slitters, levelers, brake presses, and other manufacturing equipment to shape and form the hot dipped galvanized steel into these products that are used in various types of construction. We also offer full service structural engineering services, technical support services. Semco is a proud leader in ASTM, AISI, AWCI, CFSEI, and SFIA. Those are all important codes, standard, and building industry associations. And once again, we're very fortunate to be able to base our product line on the most recycled material in the world. Moving forward, there's a picture of our 4 facilities. They're quite large. You can see in the pictures, you'll see a lot of steel coil. And that's really where our products start from. We take that steel and then we process it into C-shaped forms that are used in residential homes, such as the one here on this screen. This happens to be a custom home that was built on the golf course in Pebble Beach. Many of our products are also used in facilities for education, such as universities and schools. We also move a lot of our products into the medical field for hospitals, surgery centers, and the like. Steel studs are also heavily used in what we refer to as mid-rise or commercial projects that are a mix and meld of retail, typically on the first floor, bottom floor, and then topped off with residential, either apartments or condominiums. And then lastly, where steel frame products were initially used in high-rise buildings, such as the pictures seen here, can be used in both interior and exterior applications. So what we do provide is thousands of products, meaning there are various web depths, steel thicknesses, flange sizes, lengths. It's really almost infinite, the combinations that we produce for our products. We do have quite a few listed here in Sustainable Minds, and we'll show you that in a second. We do have 2 EPDs. The initial EPD, we were part of an industry consortium that moved forward by creating an EPD for several manufacturers and partners within the steel framing industry. Then we took a step forward and we decided that it was better off to have our own environmental product declaration, which we do have, and it's available in our transparency catalog page here on the right, as you can see. With that are 15 or so health product declarations. Those are specific to our cold form products for both structural and non-structural applications, as well as clips and connectors and accessories. Included with those HPDs are those that are specific to our metal lath and plastering accessories, and that's for both paper-backed and non-paper-backed products. And we've also included some of our proprietary products, such as Pro-X header and Sureboard for shear. In terms of how the product transparency and sustainability industry has affected us, one thing that we've certainly tried to do is decrease the amount of inputs for some products and minimize the amount of inputs in terms of raw material, in terms of energy usage and everything else that's included in with that. And our most recent development is called Viper X, and it is a non-structural EQ framing system. And what's really unique about this particular product line is, if you remember back in the old days, and I mean 10, 15, 20 years ago, and if some of you don't remember that, you're probably too young, but anyway, there used to be 2 specific thicknesses for interior non-structural framing, 20 gauge and 25 gauge. And those were tested ad nauseum and produced certain limiting heights. Well, with transparency and more importantly, sustainability, the goal is to use less steel, but yet attain those same heights. So with this particular product line, Viper X, we've been able to design, develop, and manufacture steel studs that are where the steel used is actually up to 15% less than what was typically used before. Despite the fact that there's up to 15% less steel used, these products still meet or exceed those respective limiting heights that were previously published by the old 20 and 25 gauge products. So sustainability will continue to drive product innovation like this, and we're certainly proud to be a part of that. What we've learned in terms of creating this disclosures is that all of our products that are produced from cold form steel really can be used in so many different building types. We've seen our products used not only in residential, in custom homes, in condominiums and apartments, the world's biggest skyscrapers, stadiums for baseball, football teams, arenas for concert halls. We've used it, seen it used in anything, even as far as just decorative applications, such as facades for custom fireplaces and shelving units and pocket features within homes and other types of applications. So, but we've really seen the ability to be able to use and apply our steel studs and those products in particular in a lot of different types of construction. The other added part about that is because steel is not combustible, you also get the benefit of fire-rated assemblies. The process that we've gone through was very stout, was very thorough, was held to very high standards, and we certainly appreciate that because it brought to attention several things that we saw as a manufacturer in order to provide a more sustainable product line. Things that we learned were technology certainly can help, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But for us, it was a fantastic process, and we certainly look forward to continuing to do that again and again. In terms of finding something new, better or worse, you know, society and cultures have been building structures for thousands of years out of wood, and I won't go into that, but steel in and of itself, even though it is the most recycled material in the world, has some extraordinary benefits and is certainly a fantastic alternative in terms of framing products when comparing it to wood. And we're certainly excited about some of those new systems that are being launched out into the marketplace, where steel will take the place of many wood assemblies, providing some great benefits from that standpoint. And again, you know, we had heard that the process was thorough. What we've learned is we can make use of upgraded technologies, software in particular, high-speed machines, and more importantly, the algorithms that are used to run some of our machines have really enabled us to not only increase the quality of these products that are marketed, but also decrease substantially the amount of scrap that is generated during the manufacturing process. Despite the fact that any scrap that we do produce does go back to a scrap recycler and gets, you know, reintroduced to the product life cycle, but we still continue to march forward for less and less scrap. In terms of creating disclosures, again, you know, Semco was one of the original, I believe it was 7 steel framing manufacturers and industry partners that came up with the first EPD. Again, we invested in publishing our own shortly thereafter, and then the obvious next step was to produce HPDs, or health product declarations, for as many products as we could, and those encompass about 98% of our product offerings out there. Leading back to the Viper X product, that was a result of sustainability being an important factor. Less steel that performs the same as products that contain more steel certainly is better off for everybody involved, especially for those looking to increase their sustainability and apply for LEED v4 certification. So what we look for in terms of transparency information, really it's the strict adherence to standards and building codes set forth in the industry. It's important that you can follow where the products were produced, what the products were made from, and more importantly, how to get that information as an important part in terms of your backup. In conclusion, we really see the benefits by using sustainable mines in particular to make it easy for the architect engineering community to search for products that will dovetail into their own goals for being sustainable and for sustainable design. In terms of trends, hopefully we're going to continue to improve the communication lines up and down the entire chain of stakeholders within our industry, so that the more information that we have, the better off we are to be prepared for these things. Challenges and barriers. We currently are somewhat self-policed by virtue of the building codes. Let's hope that we continue to do that, increase that. And in terms of long-term benefits, we're looking for a safer and much more predictable construction industry, because like we had said before, steel really is safe, strong, and sustainable. And with that, Terry, I'm going to turn it back to you. Thank you.
Sure, you've got some good stories there. But Lisa, I'd like to turn it over to you to talk about what's happening at CHPS and what you're responsible for over there. Lisa, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Terry. Hello, my name is Lisa Donna, and I am the Director of Communications and Membership at CHPS. For those who don't know, CHPS stands for the Collaborative for High Performance Schools. Today, my presentation will cover what CHPS is, who comprises CHPS, and what CHPS can provide to you. Pictured here on this slide are our board members, where we celebrated our 15th anniversary meeting that happened early in 2018. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I hold a Master's of Science in Technical Communication from Michigan Technological University, and I have over 25 years of professional experience in this field. And I consider myself a specialist in community building via website and social media communications. As the membership director for CHPS, I manage member services and member administration. And as the communications director for CHPS, I manage content for our outreach communication, which includes our website and also our social media sites on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you have any questions about CHPS membership, or anything in this presentation, please contact me at the email address provided here or phone number. I'm based on the West Coast in Sacramento, California. So what is CHPS, you might be wondering? CHPS stands for the Collaborative for High Performance Schools. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization. We were founded in 1999 in California as a collaboration of California's major utilities to address energy efficiency in schools. In 2002, we incorporated and became a nationwide organization. We still focus on energy efficiency, but our interests have spread to all aspects of sustainability in schools. This year, as I said before, we are celebrating 15 years of national leadership in the healthy high-performance schools industry. The CHPS mission is to foster well-designed, operated, and maintained K-12 schools that enhance student performance, and in general, promote positive community-based environmental stewardship. There are a lot of green building organizations out there, so what's different about CHPS? CHPS is unique as it is the only organization that has a school-specific rating system. And it is the only organization that prioritizes student performance in its monitoring and benchmarking tools. Our most widely known product is the CHPS Core Criteria, which now has state-specific versions in 12 states, as well as a national US CHPS version. The Core Criteria is developed from recommendations made by our National Technical Committee, which is comprised mainly of our member representatives. This year, CHPS will be releasing its 2018 Core Criteria update. The update will be open for public review in late July or early August. If you would like to participate in the review process, please watch our website or join our email distribution list for details. I thought you might be interested in some examples of CHPS schools, so I have provided a few examples. Pictured on this slide is the Reddington Junior Senior High School in Wasilla, Alaska. The building was completed in 2015 and is the first CHPS design school in the state of Alaska. It was also designed to meet LEED Gold standard. The building and campus was designed by Wolf Architecture and built by Collins Construction. Notice in the picture, the windows up high that bring in natural light without glare. And also notice the breadth of building materials, which are 50% sustainably sourced, either local or recycled. The school's administration holds as its mission to be a ZNE, or zero net energy school. High efficiency boilers run at lower condensing temperatures for high 93% efficiency. And they reduce their energy consumption by 40%, which is an important element in areas that have a harsh climate like Alaska. I'm specifically showing this example today because our next webinar offering is going to be on ZNE schools. So stay tuned to our website or email announcements for scheduling and registration details. This picture here is of Solano Avenue Elementary School, which is part of the Los Angeles Unified School District. The building was designed by Gonzalez Gooddale Architects and built by Kemp Brothers Construction. Solano Avenue achieved a California CHPS verified certification in 2016. It also marks LAUSD's 100th completed and certified CHPS project. This is a particularly interesting example because this project is an addition to an existing school and not just a new build. The project included a new addition on the left, as well as modifications to the existing building on the right that allows for a second level connection to the new building. One strong design feature is the custom perforated solar control fins along the southwest facade. These are used to prevent solar gain into the classrooms, which is important to energy efficiency in the Southern California climate. And they also allow for ample views from the windows. The Abbott Downing Elementary School in Concord, New Hampshire is a NEEP school. The Northeast Energy Partnership is one of our nonprofit partner organizations and represents schools in school districts in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Vermont, and Maine. The school was designed by HMFH Architects. Both of these organizations, NEEP and HMFH, have active representation on our board of directors and on our National Technical Committee. What is particularly special about this example is that the school pictured here replaced a historically significant building. This demonstrates how the CHPS criteria can be applied to build a healthy, energy efficient, high performance learning facility and still be flexible enough to retain aspects of the original historic building, which was a high priority for this school district and its community. As I mentioned before, CHPS is a collaborative of many different types of organizations who all join together under a single cause. Our memberships comprise a national network of leadership in the high performance schools community, which includes clean materials and products producers, architects and designers, engineers, construction firms, building management professionals, schools and school districts, regulatory agencies and other stakeholders, such as nonprofit or advocacy groups, our partner organizations, and other concerned individuals. Our collaboration is comprised of over 150 member organizations, 700 completed CHPS schools with 300 more underway, over 60 school districts representing millions of enrolled students and billions of dollars of funded school construction nationwide. 12 states have adopted statewide or region-specific CHIPS criteria, and more states are being added each year. For example, this year we're working with new CHIPS projects in Florida and Montana. This industry is growing fast, and we're anticipating that the CHIPS standard will soon be the national standard for schools. A membership contribution to CHIPS helps us to provide you with valuable industry relevant services. Through our network, we can influence and advocate for building more CHIPS schools, further expanding the healthy, high-performance school industry. By developing and maintaining high-quality, reliable core criteria, we create a valuable asset for both seasoned industry professionals and newcomers. Our stakeholder collaborative represents a wide array of expertise, which is accessible to our members via webinars, training sessions, networking events, and marketing opportunities. Most importantly, your support allows us to offer free expertise and resources to schools and districts where the major decision-making happens with school building projects. CHIPS offers manufacturing membership benefits, which are designed to promote your company's visibility in the healthy high performance school community. Some of these benefits include access to schools, a listing in our membership directory, and use of the CHIPS logo in your marketing material, as well as website and social media promotions. If you have an interest in raising awareness for a new product or technology, or how you solved a unique design problem, we can offer opportunities to present webinars or authoring a technical article in our newsletter. With CHIPS membership, you also get discounts on of course, the Sustainable Minds Transparency Catalog. And we also work with ZeroDocs as one of our partnerships, which also works in this field as well. And you get discounted fees associated with the CHIPS Design, CHIPS Verified Leader, and CHIPS Prefab Recognition programs. And you get free access to CHIPS webinars and free AIA continuing education credits when they're applicable. So what's next? I encourage you to become a member of CHIPS if you haven't already. You can do this online by visiting www.chips.net/join. Keep yourself, stay informed, follow healthy, high performance school news by subscribing to the CHIPS newsletter. Attend a webinar, check out our event schedule on the CHIPS website. Participate. You can get involved by serving on a CHIPS technical advisory committee, or you can provide comments during the public review of the 2018 core criteria update later this summer. Stay tuned for more details on that. And lastly, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, Lisa Donna. You're welcome to use either of these email addresses provided here, or you can call me directly. And I just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody for your time today. I appreciate having the opportunity to talk about CHIPS and some of our programs. And I sincerely hope that you will consider including CHIPS in your future business development plans and activities.
Thank you, Lisa. We have been really honored to be partnered with CHIPS for over a year now, and helping to serve those manufacturers and the school districts who are looking to find products for high performance schools and support the CHIPS mission. A couple things. I'm going to show you a quick demo of some key functionality in the catalog that I want folks on this call to know about to further help the manufacturers help you. And while I go to the catalog, Jennifer Larkin, our sales lead for our transparency products, has been monitoring the questions. Jennifer, do we have questions that that we can answer today?
Yes, this question is for Steve at Semco. This question came in. We are anxious to reduce hexavalent chromium, which seems to be applied to steel studs so that they look shiny and bright when they get to the site. What is Semco doing to limit use of this redless chemical?
Great question. Thank you for whoever submitted that. Hexavalent chromium, otherwise known as chromium 6, is that famous toxin that was made popular in the Aaron Brockovich story. And really the impetus on that was water contamination. Chromium 6, or hexavalent chromium as it's called, is also a compound in what we call ChemTreat for hot dip galvanized steel coils. It's put on by many steel mills as a rust inhibitor. So basically what happens is when galvanized coating, which is mostly zinc, begins to corrode, it creates what's called white rust, or a white flaky dust, almost similar to laundry powder if it's been subjected to moisture and then re-dried. There's no harm in it. The white rust is actually a positive reaction because the galvanized coating is in and of itself applied to protect the base steel underneath it. Now, in terms of reducing that hexavalent chromium, that's really up to the steel mills because we don't apply anything to any of our products, and I don't believe that any other steel framing manufacturers do that I know of in terms of adding any types of coatings to their hot dip galvanized steel products. So we look to the mills domestically that we purchase from to look for an answer for any replacement of that. What we do know about Chrome 6 is that, yes, it is a hazardous compound. It is also listed on California's Prop 65 list of compounds, and we certainly make sure that everybody will be notified of any of those compounds on our products. The ChemTreat coating is dry and it's in a stable state even after the roll forming process. There may be some exposure due to it if you're cutting or grinding or welding in the field, and then those precautions are usually carried by the AWS, American Welding Society, in terms of protection with ventilation, proper equipment such as gloves, welding hats, so on and so forth, to prevent any inhalation of any dust that is kicked up through either one of those processes. So hopefully
let me just jump in, Steve, because we're at the top of our time, and this is a good opportunity to show folks that in every listing, we happen to be looking at Oregon Door, you can contact the manufacturer. And in fact, in the Semco listing, I think this link goes directly to Steve, and you can have that conversation with Steve, make it easy to contact. More importantly, Steve wants to know, and Gretchen wants to know, and every manufacturer in the catalog wants to know, when you select or specify any of their products, let them know. This is about closing the loop. This is about rewarding them for their transparency efforts so that they keep doing more. The other thing I wanted to show you here in the listing was this share link. If you find products that you happen to like, you can share that information with anybody you like your project team. Whoops. Oh, I closed my email, sorry. That would pop up an email that would say, hey, go visit Oregon Door, or if you clicked on Semco's listing, visit Semco, find all their products with transparency information, and you'll find everything here. These links take you back to the manufacturer's website, so you're getting their information that they're delivering to the market, that they manage themselves there on your site where they want to do business with you, link to the EPD, link to the declare label. And If you're wondering about the disclosures and which credits and which rating systems you're eligible to earn credits in, this master decoder page lists all the rating systems that reward transparency and explain what each of the disclosures are and what the scope and results and level of each program gets you in terms of rating system eligibility. So we've got a lot of content, simple tools built in, a lot of education built in. And again, we invite you to explore the catalog, interact with the manufacturers, and share the information with your friends. On the way out of today's webinar, there will be a couple of questions that if you feel like you have some time to provide comments, interest in chips, interest in the catalog, let us know. And you will be getting a follow-up email that will include the link to the recording of this webinar. And if you'd like the deck, you can request that. And I'd like to thank Gretchen and Steve and Lisa for putting their presentations together to tell their stories about their respective organizations and how transparency truly is the new green. Thank you very much. And any questions we didn't get to, we will definitely follow up and have the right person get back to you with an answer. Thanks again, everyone, for coming. Gretchen, Lisa, and Steve especially, and have a great day.